Hey there! If you want to learn more about basic VPLS LDP configuration, sign up for our Junos MPLS and VPNs course. For full details, just visit juniper.net/courses and search for JMV in the keyword search box. If you're pursuing Juniper certification, you'll need to know this in the service provider exams. Now let's get to your Learning Bite.
Hello everyone, welcome to Juniper Learning Bites. My name Ade, NetLearn Training Instructor. Our topic about basic VPLS LDP configuration. Hopefully you all already know about the baseline of the LDP, MPLS and VPLS. So we can start now. The simulation requirement consists of MX series with logical system, enable the IGP, enable the LDP, enable the MPLS and enable the VPLS instance. The logical system consists of 6 nodes, PE1, PE2 and PE3, and then CE1, CE2 and CE3. If we see here, CE1 connected to PE1, PE1 connected to PE2 and PE3, and then CE2 connected to PE2, and CE3 connected to PE3. And they are using the VLAN 660 in here. Okay, now let's start to enable the IGP. We can start with the protocol. In here we are using the OSPF as an IGP protocol. Set protocol OSPF area 0. We are using the backbone area in here. And then interface GE104.10 and then interface GE104.11. This is interface facing to PE2 and PE3. And then we are enable the loopback. In here we are using the loopback 0.1 as interface of system of PE1. And then we are enable the LDP protocol. The protocol LDP in here. Set protocol LDP interface GE104.10. Set protocol LDP interface GE104.11 and then set protocol LDP interface loopback 0.1. Because we are using the LDP base for the VPLS, we must enable the loopback 0. Okay. And the interface GE is facing for the PE1 to PE2 and PE3. After that, we are enable the MPLS protocol. The protocol MPLS interface GE104.10 and set protocol MPLS interface GE104.11. This is also interface facing from PE1 to PE2 and PE3. For the interface, we must add the family MPLS in here. So we must set the interface GE104 in here. In PE1 is unit 0. We can add the description to PE2, VLAN ID 10, family INET, address 10.1.1.1/30, and we must add the family MPLS to enable the MPLS in interface. And then we can enable the VPLS routing instance after the MPLS, the IGP, and the LDP already enabled. We can set routing instance VPLS, instance type VPLS. And then we add the interface facing to the CE. In here we are using the interface GE115.660. And we can add the protocol VPLS with the no tunnel service. And then we use the VPLS ID 660 and the neighbor is 111.2 and 111.3. This is the loopback for PE2 and PE3. And don't forget, for the VPLS routing instance, we must enable the interface that facing to the CE. In here, the example is interface GE115 unit 660 encapsulation. We must add the VLAN VPLS because we are using the VLAN, and the VLAN ID is 660, and we must add the family VPLS under the interface. After that, we can verify with the check protocol OSPF. In here, we are taking the snip from PE3. show OSPF interface. In here we are see that the PE3 have interface facing to PE1 and PE2. In here GE114.11 and GE114.12, and the DR ID then BDR ID is already shown in here, and then there is an loopback, loopback for loopback 3. This is loopback for PE3, and the neighbor is 10.1.1.5 to PE2, and then 10.1.1.10 to PE3. And in here the state is full. You can see the OSPF neighbor ID already exchanged in the stateful. And we can check the LDP protocol, show LDP interface. We can see the loopback already enabled, the GE114.11, GE114.12, interface facing to PE1 and PE2. After that, we can show LDP neighbor that already established through the GE114.11 and GE114.12 to the PE1 and PE2, and then also using the loopback also in here we are already enabled. And we can see the LDP session in here. We are enable session to loopback PE1 and loopback PE2. We can see here 111.1 and 111.2. Okay, it's already enabled and already up. After that, we can check the MPLS interface. In here, we are see that the interface already enabled in GE114.11 facing to the PE2, and we are see in here the administrative group is none. We are not using the administrative group, and then we can see that the state is already up in here for the GE114.11 and GE114.12. This is facing to PE1 and PE2. Okay, and we can check the connection to the neighbor. We can ping. Let's see. We can check from the PE1 in here. Ping MPLS LDP to the neighbor. In here, example is 111.3 is PE3. Okay. In here, we can see that 5 packet transmit, 5 packet receive, and 0 packet percent loss. Okay, so if we can check here, the MPLS already enabled, MPLS already running, and the LDP MPLS ping is already succeed from PE1 to PE3. And we can check the VPLS protocol in here. If we see in here in PE3, show VPLS connection. Okay, you can see the instance is VPLS. The name of the instance is currently in here. We are using the VPLS name. We can change to another VPN A, VPN B, no problem. And we are using the VPLS ID 660. You remember in the diagram of topology, we are using the VLAN ID 660. And we can see the neighbor of the LDP connection in here. 111.1 PE1 and 111.2 is PE2. From the PE3, we can see the connection for VPLS is up for neighbor PE1 and neighbor PE2. Okay, the time of up is from in here example is 23rd June 2015. Okay, this is just an example, and we are using the local interface in here, local switch interface LSI. So if you remember, we are set the protocol VPLS with the no tunnel service, so we are using the local switch interface in here. So we can see in here there is a LSI 1017.11.873 for the PE1, and then for the PE2 we are using the LSI 1017.11.872. Okay, after that, after we check the MPLS, the LDP, the OSPF, the IGP, and then we check the connection, ping CE to CE. Let's see the CE1 in here, ping to CE3, the connection reply, and then with the count of 3, so we are sending 3 packet. And then from CE1 to CE2, 20.1.1.2, count 3. So we are sending 3 packet for ping to CE3 from CE1 to CE3 and then CE1 to CE2. Okay, so we can see here there is a ping and reply from the CE2 and CE3. Okay, now if we see the logical topology in here, CE1 is 21.1.1, CE2 20.1.1.2, and CE3 is 20.1.1.3. Okay, we are using the VLAN ID 660, and we are using the IGP OSPF, MPLS using the signaling LDP in here. Okay. Okay, now let's jump to the lab. Okay, now I already set up the logical system in the MX series. In here we are using the MX series, and we are having the PE1, PE2, PE3, and then CE1, CE2, CE3. Okay, now let's check in the PE1. Show OSPF neighbor. Oh, the OSPF is not up. Okay, let's check. Show configuration interface. This is interface facing the PE2, GE104 to PE2, GE104.11 is to PE3, and then this is the GE11.5, GE115.660, unit 660, facing to the CE. The loopback is 111.1. Okay. Okay, now if we see in here, OSPF protocol has not been up, so we can enable the OSPF protocol first. Activate protocol OSPF. Show protocol OSPF. Okay. Show compare. Okay, we commit. Okay, show protocol OSPF. Okay. LDP. Okay, we can activate protocol LDP also. Okay, protocol MPLS. Okay, we activate the protocol MPLS also. Show protocol. We can check. Okay, now we commit to activate the all 3 protocol, MPLS, OSPF, and LDP. And don't forget, we check in the interface. They are already enabled the MPLS interface in the under family. Okay, let's commit. Check in the PE2, show OSPF neighbor. Okay, it's already up. So OSPF interface. Okay, let's check in the PE1. Okay, OSPF neighbor already enabled to PE2 and PE3. In here we can check and we can see. Okay, OSPF interface already enabled. Show MPLS interface enable in all interface to facing the PE1 and PE2. Okay. Show LDP interface. Okay, it's already up in the interface facing to PE1, PE2, and also the loopback. Show LDP neighbor. Okay. Okay, let's check in the PE2. Show OSPF neighbor. Show OSPF interface. Okay, up also. Show LDP interface. Okay, show LDP neighbor. Show MPLS interface. Show LDP database. Let's check the database. Okay, LDP database established from PE2. Okay, established to PE1 in here. The input label from PE1, and this is the output label from PE2 to PE1. This is the input label from PE3 to PE1, and then this is to the label from PE2 to PE3. Okay, check the PE3. So OSPF neighbor. Okay, up to PE1 and PE2. Show OSPF interface already enabled. Show LDP neighbor. Okay, to PE1, PE2. Show LDP interface. Okay. Okay. Now After the all OSPF neighbor as an IGP already up in this PE1, PE2, and PE3, and then we can check the LDP already up also, the neighboring already up, and then the MPLS interface already enabled. Now we can check the VPLS configuration, show configuration routing instance. Okay, in here we see in the PE1 there is a VPLS configuration. Neighbor is PE2 and PE3. Okay, show VPLS connection. Let's see. Okay, from P1 to PE2 and PE3 already enabled. You can see here we are using the label switch interface because we are using the no tunnel service in it. We are not using the tunnel pick. Okay. Okay, now let's check in the PE2. Show VPLS connection. Okay, up to PE1 and PE3, and then in PE3 show VPLS connection. Oops, what's wrong in the PE3? If we see in here NP, what is NP? Interface hardware not present. Okay, because we are not using the tunnel service in here, you can see the configuration. Okay, we are not enable the no tunnel service yet, so we are not using the label switch interface in this logical system for the PE3. So we can enable edit routing instance VPLS, edit protocol VPLS, and we activate the no tunnel service, so we are using the label switch interface. Okay, we can commit. Now it should be up. Show VPLS connection. Yes, that's right. Up now because we are using the label switch interface in here. We are already activate the no tunnel service. Okay. Okay, now let's check. Show MPLS interface is already up. Okay, show LDP neighbor. Let's ping the MPLS LDP neighbor. Let's see in here PE1 to PE2. Okay. Okay, the connection it should be up and succeed. Okay, and then to PE3. Okay. After that we can check the last verification from CE to CE. Let's see the CE1. Okay. Okay, let's ping to CE2. Count 5. Okay, and then we see to PE3, CE1 to CE3. Okay, it's up. Okay, to PE1, and then to PE3. Okay, connection established from CE2 to CE1, CE2 to CE3. Okay, now let's check in the CE3, the last CE. Okay, let's ping CE1, and then we can ping to CE2. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's up and established all. Okay, I think that's all. This is the logical topology. You can try and replicate in your own lab. So thank you very much. Hope you are enjoyed. Let's see in another Learning Bytes.
Visit the Juniper Education Services website to learn more about courses. View our full range of classroom, online, and e-learning courses. Learning paths, industry segment and technology-specific training paths. Juniper Networks certification program, the ultimate demonstration of your competence. And the training community, from forums to social media. Join the discussion.